Oh my god, the host just triple stabbed me.
You see who's food running tonight?
56 was just sitting there making out the entire time I was trying to take
Why do we have
order.
so many servers on the floor? Did you hear about 73?
This is a work of fiction. Any similarity to actual persons, living or dead, or actual events, is purely coincidental.
Oh my goodness. What a fucking shit. Welcome back to Rolling Silverware. I'm Kat.
And I'm Bunny.
And this is our post-shift shit talk.
Yes, it is.
I said it correctly.
Got it. It's clear as day. That was also a really funny video, too.
Thank you so much.
The, bringing it up, and it's
Yeah.
like, no, that was the original time. That doesn't count.
No, it absolutely counts.
You made fun of me one time. Yeah. It's going to happen
I
again.
will remember for the rest of my life. A little bit of pre-shift.
Yeah. How was tonight?
Garbage. Oh my god.
Wild night.
For the section I had, I should have had a much better night. Like, it was a really decent section, and it, for some reason, just wasn't paying out. No matter how good the service, how bad the service, it was always just 10 to 15%. And it was just one of those nights where, I was not cracking 20% to save my life. Even home office, I had to double check. I was like, did they just not give me 20%?
Really?
Yeah, and they did, but their tab was pretty low.
Okay.
So it wasn't anything, to write home about, whatever.
Who from home office? Just somebody?
I have no idea. I've never heard of her before.
Okay.
But the general manager knew her because when I first clocked in, the host was like, "Oh, this person's home office. Should I seat them with Kat?" And the general manager was like, "Yeah, go for it. She's pretty nice." I was just like,
sometimes.
yeah, I was like, "Are you talking about me or her? Who are you talking
Who's pretty
about?"
nice? Yeah. Is it gonna be okay because she's pretty nice?
Right.
Or
I was like, "Wait, what's happening here?" And I'm 1 to 2 days out from starting my period, so I'm fatigued.
angry.
I'm angry. I was not having a good time at work. But I was trying to, hold it together, at my tables, but maybe that's why I wasn't getting 20% nights, because I was dropping the ball more than I normally would.
Okay.
For some reason, I just couldn't remember anything. A table asked me for bread with oil and vinegar, and I
never got
I
it.
completely forgot about to bring them their bread. And then I was like, oh, their bread. I brought them their bread so much later, completely forgot the oil and vinegar. And it was
You
just,
said no.
yeah, and it was just like, God.
Sorry, no.
Yeah, it's just stuff it was dumb little stuff like that. But that was my whole night, was just making mistakes like
Right.
that. And then I also had the kitchen making mistakes on every single one of my tables, which makes me look even worse.
It's always so sketchy too, the night before a holiday, and then the kitchen's dropping the ball repeatedly, and it's like, do you know how much more tomorrow's gonna be?
Yeah. Tomorrow being
so
Easter,
much more.
yeah, it's gonna be crazy busy.
Yeah.
And they're, I ordered, a side of coleslaw and a side of mac and cheese, and they bring out a side of coleslaw and a side of spinach. And
So close.
I know I rang that incorrectly. And I checked if I rang, and I did. So I go back and I was like, "Hey, I'm pretty sure I rang in mac and cheese. I need that." And he goes, "Oh, okay." It's not funny.
So sorry.
Yeah, I was like, "Great, thank you so much for that." And then just this one table in particular, I had the worst time with. I walk up to him, I'm like, "Hey guys, how's it going? Are we ready to, get drinks in? And, or what can I get you started with to drink?" And they order their drinks, and I'm like, "Okay, great." He goes, "Can we order now as well?" I was like, "Yeah, of course. If you're ready,
Absolutely, yeah.
if you're ready, yeah, let's go." And then they proceed to take 8 absolute minutes to go over
To figure out what they're actually getting.
Do you want pasta as well? Yeah, let's get a pasta. What pastas do you have? And I'm just standing there, and I'm like, "Of course, this is what we have," and da-da-da.
Yeah.
And I'm like, "You could have easily found this on the menu on your own."
And also just say you're not ready yet.
Right.
That's totally fine. Just don't be ready yet. I'm here all night. If you need an extra 4 or 5 minutes, nobody's judging you.
Right.
Ever.
And so I was just like, great. So they take 8 more minutes of my time.
Standing at the table time, too.
Standing at the table time to go through all of our entire menu, practically, asking me questions, doing this, da-da-da. I finally get an order in, all of their appetizers, all of their starters, and, the starters, I want, a half dozen oysters, whatever you like, whatever you choose.
Sure.
And I go, okay. And he was like, "I want 3 Pacifics and 3 Easterns."
So not whatever I pick.
Well, right, but he was like, I want like 3 and 3 from each
Right.
region, and I'm like, okay, well, we have a sampler that'll get you 3 and 3 from each region. He goes, no, I don't want that, sir. Right, so I was like,
Some people are also under the impression that the sampler is like the worst we have to offer, and it's like all of our oysters are fresh. All
Right.
of them are getting shucked to order. We get them all in the same day. So none of them, but I've had people do that before. Like, no, I don't want like the preset one. It's not our bad ones. Also, fucking all oysters taste the same. Like,
yeah, it's all
they're-
ocean.
right? Yeah, it tastes like salt water at the end of the day. They are like so minorly different
Yeah.
at best. But
So he's
ew.
Yeah,
the
he goes.
the set sampler, gross.
He goes, no, I don't want that. And I
Trash.
was like, well, it's 3 Easterns and 3 Pacifics, and it's cheaper than if you were to order them individually.
Right.
And he goes, oh, okay, then yeah, that. And I'm like, okay, great. And then I get everything in, and I go, okay, great. I'll be right back, guys. The guy looks at me dead, and I'm 95% sure that he was serious. He goes, where's my drink?
What?
I was like, sir, did you just have a stroke? I haven't left yet.
I haven't had a chance during all of our conversing.
Like, we joke all
Right.
the time as servers.
Absolutely.
Like, oh, I haven't even left and you're already asking me for bread. You asked me
Yeah,
for
yeah.
your drinks, da, da, da. But I'm
No, he
so
legitimately
sure-
asked you, "Where's my drink?"
I'm so sure that he was confused about why his drink wasn't at the table yet. And I was just
He's like, "I've been talking to you for a long time. Where is that drink I ordered?"
right, I'm like,
Well, it's still written on my paper, and I haven't had a chance to press the fucking button for it yet.
you know what? I'm so sorry, sir. I haven't telepathically connected with the bartender. I
Right.
should have done that so long ago. How
Oh
did
my
I not
God.
realize?
My
I-
bad.
I literally looked at him, I was like, I haven't left yet. And I walked away. Like, what?
I'm trying so hard to leave,
Because
and I haven't left yet.
wasn't a table that I felt a vibe with that was like jokey,
Sure.
right? Like they weren't joking with me. I wasn't
No,
joking with
just
them.
Dead serious.
They had
You're
really,
failing.
yeah, they had really thick accents, so it was kind of hard to understand them. So it didn't feel like he was trying to have a good time with me in
Sure.
regards to saying that. And I was I was just like, I haven't left, and then I just walked away. And so I get them their drinks, whatever, and then they go to leave, and they racked up a $340 tab. And just like last week, anytime it starts reaching that territory,
Yeah.
I always get nervous because I don't know, if someone's going to throw down $60, $70
Right.
as a tip. Like, that's a lot to
It
expect
is a
of
lot,
somebody.
yeah.
And I go to walk up, they are leaving. I'm, passing by. Thank you so much. You guys have a great night. Happy Easter, da da da. They left me $40 on a $340 tab, and I was just like, ugh, okay. But that was my whole night. That
Right.
was my whole night, is walking up to grab tabs that were at like way lower than what. And that table I didn't have any issues with, other than him saying that to me, and I was like, what?
What?
What? I don't
Huh?
know. Okay. But every other moment, they
Right.
got their drinks on time, they got their food all together, like
Not
everything.
on his time.
Apparently.
On a regular person's time.
But yeah, everything else on that table went like very, very smoothly. So, but yeah, that was just my whole night. It was just like that. And I was like, okay, same table. They ordered a couple bowls of soup. There's 4 of them, so they ordered 2 bowls of soup. And then,
I was there for that.
okay.
I was there for that.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't know if you were there for that, but when the food runner runs the food and she comes back and she was like, wow, 32 is so weird. And she's like talking to me about it. And I was like, yeah, they're like, I don't know what's going on with them.
Right.
And I don't know if it was you
I
or
came up and I
was
said they
it
want
you?
4 cups for their soup.
Her looking me dead in the face and saying, oh, so they want 4 cups of soup. Bitch, you're going back to the kitchen.
Yeah. Also, I didn't have time to do it for you right then because I had 2 tables that I needed to get waters and bread for.
Fair,
I
you're
had
a
gotten a
server.
double set. I needed to do that. I was just running your appetizers to help.
Did you notice what was in my hands?
Yeah, you were clock carrying a couple of things, and I think you had a check in your other hand.
Yes, I had a check under my
And
arm.
she's like,
boxes,
"Oh yeah."
bags.
I thought she was telling you that in a sense of like, yeah, now they need this, like not for you to do it, but just like
No,
So that's why I looked at her and I went, yeah, and I have stuff to do.
She absolutely meant for me to do it. I went, dropped off all my stuff, and then when I came back, she was running somebody else's food. So I was like, oh, great. So I guess I'll just get those 4.
Oh my
Cups
god, I
for
thought
them
she
to
was
split
gonna
it.
go do it.
No, she never did it. Ma'am, I pay you. What else are you doing? Like,
Also-
you're
yeah.
just standing in the kitchen
No.
running food back and forth. Wouldn't you want to, you know what I mean? Like, do something
Do one extra
outside
thing.
of that?
No, she hated that table from the minute that she spoke to them. I didn't hear what they said to her, so
Mm.
I don't know why she thought that they were weird. I just came up, and that's when they asked me. They were like, "Can we get 4 bowls to split?" They're like, "We're splitting this," and it's like, I didn't know that. I'm just
Yeah.
setting. I'm just setting your fucking. Oh, I did the soy cups for you. I was
Yes,
just
thank
setting the
you.
soy cups down.
Yeah, my L1 went up to drop off the drinks. So I was like,
Right.
hey, can you drop off these beers real quick? And she goes, yeah, sure. So she drops off the beers. And the guy that was sitting at seat 4 on that table looked at her and goes, oh, you changed your hair. And she was like,
And my skin tone,
right?
and my face, and quick tan,
Yeah.
quick power tan in the back, and I crimped all of my hair.
Yeah.
Aggressively.
She literally has like 3C hair,
Yeah.
is mixed,
Yeah.
and is
Oh, you changed
fucking
your hair.
gorgeous,
So
right?
what
Yeah.
you're trying to say is I don't give a fuck who you are, but you work here.
But again, was he joking?
no
Was it a joke? Because he thought like, oh, I'm gonna have a good time with these servers tonight.
He
But then
wasn't
you-
joking when he asked me for the cups
No.
of soup, and all I could think is like, hey guys, if you're splitting something, just tell me you're splitting it. Like, we just encountered this tonight with our meal, and it was like, oh, do you want it split in advance? Most likely. Some people don't, and that's fine. And there's even items on our list that we can't split, right?
Yeah,
But like, if you're ordering 2 bowls of soup for the table and you know goddamn well that all 4 of you are sharing that soup, just tell me you want 2 split bowls of soup.
I don't think they knew that we could do that. Again, I don't know.
Maybe not, but just tell me and I'll figure it out. Like,
Yeah. And that's the thing is like one person was ordering for everybody.
yeah.
So he was like, we'll get this, we'll get this, we'll get this, we'll get this. And it wasn't like, she'll have this, he'll
Right.
have this. It was very much like, we will, we will, we will. So when they said, oh, we'll get 2 bowls of soup, I kind of just assumed 2 people
Two people were
wanted
getting
bowls
soup.
of soup. Right.
Yeah.
Because even when he ordered the beers, he was like, oh, we'll get, do you have anything local? That's good. And so I recommended the beer that we have specifically brewed for us,
Right.
from, that's up north. And I was like, yeah, we have this one. It's really good. It pairs well with everything on our menu. We specially get it brewed for us. And he goes, great, we'll have 2 of those.
Okay.
So I said, great. And only 2 of them were drinking it.
Right.
The other 2 were not. So when he was like, oh, we'll get 2 bowls of soup, I was like, yeah, okay, 2 people are having soup.
Yeah.
And I didn't really think anything of it. I didn't think to split it because usually if there's like a couple sitting on the table
Yeah.
and they
I
say,
ask, yeah.
yeah, but,
I'm like,
oh,
do you want to? Are you guys sharing that soup?
always.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like,
Or I bring out 2 spoons, bare minimum. Like, how close of a couple do they seem? Do they seem like they're okay? They're not gonna share a spoon.
no,
But-
no, but definitely if they're like, oh, we'll get the, the halibut, whatever, in these size. And then the other person doesn't really say anything. I go, oh, are we sharing that today?
Right.
Yes. Perfect. And then I just put the stuff split in the system. Like
Yeah,
I'm
I
not,
just do it. And 9 times out of 10, people are like, oh my God, you split this for me.
And they're so
Oh,
excited,
wow,
yeah.
Look at this. And it's like, yeah, of course, because just a press of a button. But when I ask people, oftentimes, like we said earlier, when I ask people, do you want me to split that for you? Like, if I suggest it, so many people think that it's a cost. And it's like, I do know of restaurants where it does
I
cost
was gonna say, I
to
don't think
split.
I know of any restaurants that
I think
cost it.
Cheesecake does.
No, not that I know of.
I think so. I think it's like $2.99 or something to split a plate.
Not when I worked there.
Well, I was gonna say the last I knew, I was pretty sure, but I haven't worked for any places that charge for the split, but I have seen the charge thing on the menu before at restaurants I've gone to. So, but I'm always like, no, it's just me pressing. I'm just pressing buttons. Like,
Yeah.
just pressing all my buttons all day. Yeah, no, tonight was fine for me. I was in a like one-off whatever section, so.
Oh, yeah, because you swapped the.
Right. Yeah, because I didn't want to open. So it was fine. Like, I don't know. It was slow, and I was never overwhelmed, and I didn't have to take those parties, which was nice. So I just did other stuff, and guests were decent. I don't know. It was kind of a whatever night, which is fine leading into tomorrow because I'm the closer. So
That's gonna be rough. And you start at 3.
I start at 3.
Ugh.
We'll probably be 3 to 11.
Yeah, I'm scheduled 11 to 6. That is such a crazy long shift, even for a holiday. Like
Right.
that's a long shift.
They probably, well, I mean, there's so many of us that they probably won't need everybody from the morning to stay into the night.
I hope I'm one of them.
But Easter's also an early eating holiday.
It's a lunch pop, yeah.
Yeah, so who knows? I don't know how many people are starting. They're probably gonna have like 8 or 9 of you
Yeah.
right off the bat.
So one of the girls we were working tonight is an opener tomorrow at 10 o'clock. And she was complaining to the host. She was like, "This is bullshit. I'm one of 3 people that are going to be here an hour before we open. Like,
Yeah,
why
why
would?"
10? What are we gonna brew extra tea?
No,
What
but
are
they
we gonna
probably
do?
want them to take a break. That's what I was thinking. I was thinking that they'll want to break them before we open.
Instead of having to do a rolling break.
Exactly. So they'll have those 3 take breaks at 10:30
Right.
and to open by 11 and then not have to worry about them again. But that does mean that there's also 3 people coming on at 11, me and 2 other people.
Right.
So when are we taking our breaks?
At
Are
3.
we taking our breaks?
At 3. When the night crew gets there from 3 to 4, we'll all give you a break, and then you give us a break, and then you go home. That's how they do it every single time.
I hate that.
Yeah. It's super annoying because it's like, hey, you're going to be here for half an hour, not taking any of your own tables, just covering someone else's tables, and then they're going to give you a break, which basically means that you just get your tables back for half an hour. And then I get to so after an hour of being at work, I get to come on and start taking tables.
Yeah.
That's pretty much where it stands. So, but it's whatever. It's a busy enough holiday. It should be fine. I'm just tired already. Like, I'm
know.
already tired leading into it. So,
I know. Today I had such a hard time, like, getting up out of bed to get ready. I took that nap knowing that, like, I need this, and I needed a good another hour or 2 of it before I was, like, okay.
even kind of okay.
I was just not okay. Throughout this shift, the amount of times that I just got irate.
Just so upset.
10 minutes before close, the host comes up to me, and she goes, "Oh, I just, I had a party of 4 walk in." And I looked at her and I go, "Okay.
Great.
Like, why are you talking to me about it?"
Yeah.
And I never get snippy with this host because I quite enjoy her
Yeah, she's a
company. Like,
blast.
she's such a peach. And I just looked at her, I was like, "Okay." And then she just, like, walked away. And later on, I was like, "Ooh, I probably should have been nicer to her." Like, I
Sorry.
really didn't need to be that
Yeah.
snippy with her. But to be fair, I walk over to the hammer section, the lead server section, and nobody's in it.
Well, she did get 3 tables in the last hour. So, like, she had gotten 3
And then
repeat
she got
tables.
rid of all of them. And then I had also 2 tables.
Right.
And those people were still in there, but they were closed out.
Right.
And she had closed out all of her tables, apparently. This is what she told me. Because I asked her, I was, "Why is the host coming up to me asking me about taking tables? Like, what's happening?" And she goes, "Oh, well, I saw that you still had tables. So I figured if you still had open tables, you wouldn't mind taking one more." You're the closer.
Yeah, that's your job.
Like, I get it. You
Yeah.
don't, we're all trying to get out of here. Cool. Like, I get it. But also, you're the lead server.
Yeah.
Like, you're the closer. I'm just a cocktail waitress.
part of it, yeah.
What are you doing?
Yeah.
Like, no, I don't want to take any. And I was like, no, all my tables closed out. They're just still hanging out.
She asked me if I wanted to close for her when I got there. And she's like, "Oh, do you want to, close tonight?" And I was like, "No.
No.
I have a shitty one-off section, and I'm taking it for the night." Like, I did not care the entire night. I was just like, whatever, I'll make the best of it. So, she'd been wanting to get out the whole time. And then when we were doing our checkout, she came in and tried to say, "Hey, can the bartender take my last table?" It's like, no,
Bartender?
our brand new, just out of training bartender needs to worry about breaking down the bar.
Second day out
Yeah.
of.
She needs to break down the bar.
I heard. So you interrupted the managers talking smack. And I was like, why?
I caught part of it, but not all
Yeah, I
of
was
it.
going to say, why did you say anything? I was listening to the chisma.
So sorry.
But yeah, she was saying something like, "Oh yeah, every time I've worked with her, the close is really bad." Every time, her one shift that she had out of
Also,
training.
she had an opening and then another opening shift. So what do you mean every time you work with her?
That's what I'm saying. I was like, this is her second shift.
Yeah.
Like, what are you talking about?
Who are you talking about?
Right.
If it's who we think, then that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, because she told me she got rocked the other day, Thursday.
Yeah, she told me she
She
had
got
a-
rocked.
She had, she
And
was
then
fine,
Friday
in
was
the
a
end.
better day for her. She's like, yeah, it was a much easier day, way better. She's like, yeah, we got a pop and I, did this or that, but it was
She's
much
going
better.
to be great.
Oh, I
She
love her. I think
just-
she's such a peach. Like,
she's
she's so sweet.
Yeah, she definitely has the personality.
Yeah.
She has the vibe. She just needs to have more confidence in
Right.
herself and her ability to make the drinks. I think that's a big one for hers. I think
Yeah.
that she's not grasping the recipes quite as quickly, and
I mean,
so
that's fine. She's coming
what
from
it is.
beer, wine, and liquor pours, you know?
Yeah.
So, like, it
And-
takes a while.
And not everyone is going to be able to memorize recipes off of a flashcard, or
Right.
you know what I mean, like the way that they expect them to. Which
Yeah, not 40 of them.
Yeah,
for sure.
I'm not even cracking her at all for that.
Right.
I'm just saying, like, she's going to be good once she has some time under her belt.
Yeah, I agree.
And that's just going to take time and working shifts. And I hope that she doesn't get hit, like, working less shifts. Or, you
Right.
know what I mean? Like, I hope that they don't bring that against her.
I don't think they will.
I hope not.
I think she's gonna be
I
fine.
don't even
And
think
like,
they could afford it, if I'm being honest. They have
no,
no
we
bartenders.
already lost the other trainee. So
Did we lose? I kept meaning to ask the stable bartender that we have. Did we lose the one that the tall one that we can't stand?
I don't know.
Did they-
I meant to ask the bar manager tonight,
Mm-hmm.
and I did not have a moment to pull her aside and be like, "What's the sitch? Like,
Yeah.
what's going on?"
Because apparently they asked the opening bartender that we had today, like, oh, can you pull this shift for us, like, days ago?
Right.
They asked her days
So they
ago.
knew.
So they knew she wasn't going to show up. So I wonder if she was just like telling them, like, hey, I'm not going to be here, so you guys need to figure this out. And that's how they knew. Or if,
Who knows?
yeah, or if she, like,
Honestly,
put in-
like, yes, we need the body, but I'd rather it be anybody else. Like,
I'd rather
I'm
do it
so
at this
over
point. I
her shit.
can't.
No. You don't get to sit here and complain about every second that you're working and then not even do your job.
No.
Like, no, I can't.
Yeah, she's too much for me. And the fact that next weekend I have all cocktail lounge shifts and she's bartending, I'm like, please, for the love of God, anybody switch shifts with me. I need to figure out Saturday and Sunday desperately.
Right. Ugh,
To try and get out of working those shifts.
it's going to be rough.
Yeah.
I had a table touch me tonight. Now, he wasn't aggressive, nor was he a problem at all. Like, it was a sweet couple. I enjoyed them from the moment they sat down. I opened their bottle of wine, and we joked about wine, right? Ha ha ha, and like, good time. And then I came up and I said, because I was ready to take their order. They put in oysters first, so I got the oysters working. Then I was ready to take their order. So I was like, hey guys, how we feeling? He's like, we're feeling good. How you feeling? He's like, oh, yep, you're feeling good.
No.
Yeah, and it's like, no offense, but he grabbed like the whole fat of my arm. Like, not just like a, oh yeah, you're like a tap. It was like a right on,
Like, a pinch of
like
the back of the
the
arm.
whole back of my arm in this man's hand. And I'm just like, great. Like, don't, just because I'm here working technically for you to help you get through your meal, you have no right to touch me. Don't
No.
touch me. And like, just don't touch anyone ever out in the world. Like, don't touch people. We're all
in the
strangers. Just don't do
world.
it. Don't do it. I don't know why that's so hard. It's usually the older generation, like straight boomers will ask, like, just not ask, but they will just touch me. Like, there's a woman, every single time she comes in, she grabs my arm and wants to look at my tattoo. I have shown this 80-year-old woman my tattoo probably 4 times. She's seen it. I'm all, bitch, you've seen it. You know what it is. But she grabs my hand and like holds my wrist and pulls my sleeve up farther. Now, I allow her this because she's otherwise very sweet. And also she just never remembers. So she's just like, I want to see your tattoo. And just like pulls my sleeve up further, right? Because I wear them cuffed, you know, so you can half see it. But yeah, and then older men just will touch my hands or like, I don't know. Like, just don't. Just don't. The worst occurrence I ever had of somebody touching me wasn't anything sexual or anything like that. It was a man trying to get my attention from the table next to the table I was taking the order at. Mm-hmm. So I'm taking an order, and this guy's looking, like, I can see you, dude. I can very clearly see you. You're looking at me. You need something. I'll be right fucking with you. I am in the middle of repeating an order back, and this man leans over and tugs on my apron. And I stop talking, and I go, I will be with you in a moment. I need to finish taking their order. And he's like, well, and I said, in a moment. And I went back to what I was doing. And then he turned around, like scuffed and turned around, right? Mm-hmm. This whole table fell deathly silent.
Of course.
And then the dad at the table looks at me and goes, "Did he just tug on your apron?" I go, "He sure the fuck did. He sure did."
Ugh.
As a grown-ass man of like 45 years old. Like, my son tugs on my clothes. And he's 6. Like, when he wants my attention, I get a little tug, right? From a 6-year-old boy, absolutely. A 45-year-old man,
No.
I'm not giving you the attention you think you deserve. You're going to tug on my apron? Oh, my God. I was ready to just throw my whole server book at him and just, like, no.
Call it a day.
Yeah, and just be like, "Oh, my God, what do you need? What do you need? I'm so sorry, sir." I don't even remember what the fuck he asked me for now because it's been a while.
Yeah.
And also, I was just so livid that I could not. No, absolutely. Don't touch people. Don't.
No. Speaking of very old people, we had a couple of their regulars. I know I've seen them before. Literally, when she walked in, I saw her. I recognized her face. "Hey, how's it going?" And she walks over to me and she goes, "Can we sit in these booths?" The booths with the metal reserve sign on them. I say, "No, unfortunately, all of our booths are, reserved for reservations tonight."
Right.
And she goes, "Ugh, what?" And I was like, "Well, it's the day before Easter. You
Right.
know what I mean? We have a lot of reservations tonight. We are a fish people, don't eat, meat and pork
Right.
and stuff. Usually for Fridays, but some people take it a bit further
Right.
during Lent and, things like that. So it's like very much, yeah. we
Also,
are
it's
busy.
just a busy Saturday night, and if the table says reserved, it fucking says reserved.
Right. And so she goes, "Oh, can we sit over there?" And I think that she's pointing to 37, right? The corner booth where
Yes.
you can sit yourself.
Yeah.
And I go, "Yeah, these tables are, you can self-seat. You can, seat yourself here. Absolutely, we'll get you some menus." And she goes, "No, right here." And she points at the bar top. I'm like, "Yeah, of course."
Yeah.
But at that point, the O-Bar guy had just made a mess of everything. There was melted ice chips
Right.
everywhere. So I'm like, "Let me clean that off for you real quick." So I start wiping down, the water that's there. And the new bartender comes up and she goes, "Oh, thank you so much." And I was like, "Yeah, of course." And the lady looks at our new bartender and goes, "Yeah, I don't really mean to sit here, but they won't let us sit at a booth tonight."
Yeah. All right. Sure. They won't let us. Yeah.
Ma'am,
You're not in trouble. You're not a toddler that's in trouble.
Also,
it's not like
you can never self-seat on a Saturday night.
No.
In those sections. Like,
in most restaurants. Like, do you see a sign when you walk in that says "Please seat yourself"? Because if you don't fucking seat yourself.
right. Even in the bar area,
Yeah.
like the amount of times that we have told this regular specifically, like, "Hey, we're going to need these tables for reservations. You can't sit here, but we'd be more than happy to put you on the wait list." Da, 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 da. Like, she just refuses always.
Consistently. Yeah.
Consistently. And I know that I've specifically told her before, like, "Hey,
Right.
you can't, seat at the tables tonight, but we can seat you at the bar top." And she's always huffy about it. And so I tell the older bartender, not that she's old, right?
No,
Like,
no, she's been with us
for a
longer.
while.
Yeah.
She's like 26. But I go to tell her, like, "Hey, warn the new bartender about those regulars because they're going to complain all night. They're awful to take care of."
This
And
is gonna keep happening.
yeah, this is the start of a really bad night for them, and they make it that way every time. And then the new bartender walks up and she goes, "Yeah, well, at least they're mad at you and not me." And I'm like, "They'll be mad at you quickly."
Yeah.
Like,
Just you wait.
yeah, and I'm like, "Okay,
Give it
well,
a minute.
I don't know what to say to you. This is just kind of your indoctrination
Sure.
at this point."
Also, what a good way to go into it too. And instead of being like frustrated about it, she's just like, "Oh well, it's not me. All right, great. Yet."
Yeah.
No, that's good.
No, I have no idea how that table ended up or what happened, but the fact that she was like, she won't let us sit at a booth tonight. You know what?
Yeah.
Especially not my booth, not with that attitude. Get
Right.
out.
No, now I don't want to serve you.
If it
Absolutely
was
not.
L1's booth, I might have been like, "You just go sit there.
Just go right ahead.
Just let somebody else deal with it. I don't care." But it was my booth. I had to take care of it. Nah,
No,
you can't sit here.
Absolutely not. And it's so back and forth when the managers will back us on that. And
I
obviously
know.
tonight reserve signs were out. That's a very clear, no, you can't sit there. Everybody should tell guests you can't sit there. But it's been so back and forth over the last fucking almost 4 years that I've worked there of who's going to say, no, you can't sit there because we have reservations, and who's just going to allow it to happen anyways, right?
Right.
And then I look like the asshole because I stop by the table and I'm like, "Hey guys, just to let you know, it's not self-seating in here on the weekends. If you want to run it through the host," like I have a whole spiel that I tell every table that sounds nice, and I'm not kicking you out of a booth. I'm just letting you know how it works here.
Right.
And I had a guy sit down. It's a while ago now, but it's just one of my favorite like self-seater stories. And so he sits down, and him and his wife or whoever scoot in, and they have 2 friends coming to join them. And so I stopped the 2 friends, and I'm like, hey guys, so sorry. Did we have a reservation for this booth? Did we check in with the host? Like, I just need to know. If so, I can grab you some menus, right? And he's like, well, no, we just came to, like, we're here now, so we came to sit down. I go, yeah, totally understand that. Did you just check in with the host? Because I'm slammed. I have 6 tables currently. You will be my 7th. So I don't know what the fuck's going on up at the host stand. I don't know who you talked to. If you just walked past everybody, I don't know your situation at all. And he's like, well, no, but like, there's nobody here right now, and we're here right now. I go, sure.
Right, but if someone's coming in 15 minutes,
That's
you
what I
can't
said.
be here.
I was like, yeah, but, if these tables are reserved throughout the night, sometimes we even have reservations set for 32 stacked, 4 reservations for the whole night. Mm-hmm. And we time them out. So that way, hopefully, those people are gone with enough time for the next reservation to sit down. And he's like, so you're telling me that I'm here now and I can't have the table, but somebody who's coming in 45 minutes to an hour can have the table? And I felt like I was straight up in a fucking Seinfeld skit. And I was like, yeah, sir. Reservations reserve spots.
That's what they're for.
It's literally it's the whole word. I just go, yeah. And he's like, well, I don't understand that. And I go, I don't think you will. But get the fuck up to the host stand and talk to them.
Yeah, but then the host will look at them and be like, yeah, go ahead. You can sit there.
They in fact could not sit there.
Oh, okay.
Which was
Thank goodness.
Totally fine. Yeah, because that has absolutely happened to me. To which then I have another spiel that I have for the table. It's like, hey guys, sorry, just doing my job because I'm always told that I can't let people self-seat here.
Right.
I will happily get you some menus. I will happily get some drinks started for you. I'm told to say these things. Mm-hmm. So also, the whole thing I told you was, can you please just go talk to the host? Because I'm not in charge of the seating tonight. I have no idea who's set to be here. Just the way he looked at me, and he's like, so you're telling me, and it's like, no, the word reservation is telling you, and if you don't know the meaning of it, I could get you a dictionary, I guess, but I was like, yes. He's like, well, I can't believe that, and I go, well,
great.
I know it's a long word, but it's a fairly easy word once you learn it.
Yeah, when I first started, I want to say I was like really like vigilant about that. People would try and seat themselves in the booth. So I'm like, hey, I'm so sorry.
She would yell from the bar top.
Yeah, 100%.
From the bar top, lean over and
She'd
be like, hey guys, it's not self-seating.
You, get out.
Get your ass up, not self-seating. Just to have the person get sat there 5 minutes later.
No,
and
but I
glare
never
at
took
you.
that table. So
it was always me. Yeah. Don't worry about it.
But yeah, I used to be super vigilant about it, and then after a while, realizing that management was never
consistent
cared.
with it.
So I stopped.
Yeah.
People would come in, and they, the servers would be like, "Oh my God, these people sat themselves," and I'm like, "Yeah." Or people would come in and be like, "Oh, can I sit here?" Sure.
Yeah. During the week, I don't tell people. I just let them have it, and I go get them menus. Mm-hmm. And then when a frantic host or manager runs up to me and they're like, "They can't have that table," I go, "Your job."
Yep.
Your job. You go tell them they can't have the table then. Because any fucking time I do it, it ends up being either a problem or they're my table anyways at the end of it, and now they're mad at me from the start.
Yep.
So, yeah. But no, people get so offended when they can't self-seat, and it's like, I've been with this company going on 4 years. Like I'm coming up, right? 3.5 years minimum I've been with this company. From the day I started, these booths have not been self-seating. So when we get those regulars in and they're like, well, it used to be, and it's like, yeah, fucking 4 years ago.
Longer than that, pre-COVID.
Right. And so it's like, you've known this. You have known this. You are a consistent monthly regular, if not every bi-weekly regular.
And you've been told this at least
so
2 or 3
many times. Do not look at me and say, well, it used to be. That's so long ago now. Mm-hmm. When I was here for 6 months, sure, I let people say, yeah, it used to be. But I was like, yeah, it used to be a lot of things. I don't know. I wasn't here. But now that I've been here the amount of time that I have, and they're like, well, you used to. And it's like, want to bet? Like, used to when? What are you remembering? It's funny because you can't remember the last time that you were here and we told you the same fucking thing. But you can remember 4 years ago when you used to self-seat.
My favorite is when people will come in and they'll be like, oh, you used to have this thing on the menu.
Yeah. Do you guys have sweet potato fries? No, we don't have sweet potato. Oh, you used to. No, the fuck we didn't.
It's
No, we
like,
didn't.
maybe 10 years ago. You're
I
telling me
don't think they ever did.
Right.
I don't think our restaurant ever had sweet potato fries. But when people want to argue a point with me, and I'm like, that's okay. I don't work here 5 days a week, and I sure as fuck don't know the menu. So you go right ahead. You tell
Right.
me.
It's so funny. Oh, you used to. Yeah, how long ago?
Right.
You think our menu hasn't changed?
Right.
Especially
Last time-
pre to post COVID.
Last time I came here, you had this meal. Yeah, what was it? A seasonal item? You know, like we have different fresh fishes that come and go. We have crabs that are seasonal. We have other lobsters that are seasonal. Was it maybe during that season?
Yeah.
Because if so, then yeah, it's winter now.
I get that song. Do you have corn? No, I'm so sorry.
Corn.
That's a summer seasonal item.
Yeah,
We'll get it
sorry,
back
we only have
soon.
corn in the summer. Oh, when does that start?
Summer.
Right. I was like, I don't know, June, July. When do you consider the start of summer?
Right.
Probably then.
Around then.
Yeah. Is it hot out? Like fairly hot out repeatedly? Come and get your corn. We probably have it.
Which don't get me wrong, I love the corn. I'm right there with them.
Yeah,
I
it's
can't
good,
wait for
but,
it to
like,
come back every year.
Is
but
it on the menu? Do you think we're just fucking with you
Right.
and we're just like, ha ha ha, our secret item, corn?
we have
That's
a secret menu?
Yeah, secret menu item, corn. Just for those who know that we sometimes have it. No, it's not. No. And that's why I tell people, like, oh, do you have any specials? So everything should be fully up to date. If you look in the center of the menu, that's where we have our seasonal items and what we are specializing in at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have anything else? No.
Like what?
Also,
what do you want?
mass chain like restaurants rarely ever have like daily specials.
No.
Like even the fine dining place that I worked at, it's a chain fine dining restaurant. We didn't have daily specials. It wasn't like the chef was making whatever he wanted out of farm fresh ingredients every day. Like it's a set menu consistently unless we had like seasonal items.
I had a table the other day tell me, oh, what's your daily special? And I was like, oh, well, we have, our seasonals, blah,
Right.
blah, blah. I give her the whole spiel. And she goes, no, you used to have, like, the chef would create something every day.
No.
When?
No, the fuck he didn't.
When? You think
The chef
my,
has no control over the menu.
yeah, I
Not
was gonna
here.
say, you
Not
think my
here.
EKM of a corporate
Right.
restaurant is just creating shit off the top of his head every day? No.
Just from what?
Never.
From what? From all the leftover ingredients we have, or the are we specialty buy? Oh, we have 10 count of this. No,
No. It was
other restaurants do that, but not mass-produced chain restaurants.
It was so
like,
bonkers to me that she said, "Oh, we used to do that," and I don't think that that's true because we
Right.
have been a chain since the beginning. Like, you know what I mean?
I
For a
also
long
used to
time
be in
anyways.
my 20s, and I used to be able to do a lot of things, but I can't anymore. Like I used to be able to hop and climb over fences. I can't do that anymore. Am I gonna bring that up to a bunch of people all the fucking time? Well, I used to. Great. Everybody used to do a lot of fucking things. What the fuck kind of? And they always say it like that too. Well, you used to.
Oh,
Dope.
you know it better than me. Okay.
But also dope. Like, what do you want me to do with this now? Surprising information that something used to be a different way. That's the whole fucking world. I don't know if you know this. Cars used to be cranked by hand. Did you know that? What are you gonna do with that though? What does that do for me?
Touch grass for real. Like, what is that statement?
You
It's
used
so
to.
wild.
Okay. All right. Like I'm gonna go. Oh my god, we did used to do that. Let me go and make that happen for you because
You know
we once did it.
There's a Whole Foods right across the way. I bet we can find all the ingredients for whatever bullshit you're currently requesting because we used to have it on the menu.
Right.
So how dare we not have the ingredients to continue to do
Right.
that?
Let me go do that for you, even though I'm not even sure if we ever used to.
Right.
My favorite too is when people like swear that they got something from us, and I know exactly the restaurant they're thinking of because it's similar to ours, and I know what they have. And so they're like, well, you used to have this item, or I was just here 3 weeks ago and you guys had it, and I'm all, I don't think we did. And they're like, no, you did because I even got it with these two sides. Okay, we've never had broccoli as a side.
Yeah.
So when you tell me that you got broccoli as a side, I know immediately you were at a different restaurant. And so I'll suggest that. I'm just like, oh, maybe it was somewhere else. It was here. All right. Well, you're here now and you're looking at the menu. I can't.
It's not on there.
I can't fix this for you. And they're like, well, I just don't understand why it would be different. It's like, well, it was a different restaurant. So that's, it in fact wasn't here.
When
and that's why.
when I was working at Yard House, we didn't have beers on tap. Or that's all we had. I'm sorry, was beers on tap. We didn't have beers by
I
the
was like,
bottle.
Yard House is...
That's kind of what it's fucking known for, dumbass.
We used to not have beers.
But they don't have beers in a bottle.
Gotcha.
It's just beers on tap, right?
Okay.
And a guy comes in and he goes, "Oh, I want a Corona in a bottle." And I was like, "Oh, I don't have that. I have Corona Extra or Corona Light, like on tap. Do you want either of
You're
those?"
the one.
What?
You guys had Corona on tap?
Yeah.
That's okay. Finish your story.
Okay.
You finish that thought.
Gasp. It's a gasp. Cat. So he was like, "No, I was just here last week and you had Corona in a bottle." I literally looked over at the other bartender and I was like, "Hey, have we ever had Corona in a bottle?" And he goes, "No, never." And then I looked at the guy and I was like, "Do you want Corona from the tap?"
Yeah.
And he goes, "Yeah." And I was like, "Great, what size?"
Also, who in their right mind wants a beer and would prefer it in a bottle?
Like, maybe because they don't want to drink out of the glassware. They don't know how clean the glassware is or something like that.
That could be the only reason, because I have had many beers, both in bottles and cans and then from draft, and it is always better on draft. Always.
Well, yeah.
Unless, like, there's something wrong with your fucking taps. That's the only way that a beer might not be as good or as consistent as out of a can. Every single fucking Mango Cart? Are you kidding me? Mango Cart in a can is
so
trash.
yeah.
It's trash. Like, it's barely as good. You get Mango Cart on draft and I'm a whore for it. Like, are you kidding me? It's so good.
I love the melon cart.
Melon Cart's pretty good.
I'm a whore for melon cart.
I just like
that's,
anything I can put a tahine rim on.
fruity and wheat is my shit.
Yeah.
They also have an apricot wheat
Ooh.
that we had on tap at Yard House. It
I've
was
never had that.
Really, really good. Yeah.
So when I started with this company,
Mm-hmm.
I've never heard this question any time else in my whole serving career at any of my other restaurants. When I started here, probably for the first year that I worked here, about once a month I would have somebody ask me, "Oh, do you have Corona on draft?" And now I, as somebody who has never seen that before in my whole fucking life, I was like, "No." And they're like, "Oh, well, some places do." And I'm like where? Can you even name me anywhere? Like, because, like, I've worked at a place that had Modelo on draft. I worked at a place that had Pacifico on draft. Never in my whole fucking life have I ever seen Corona on draft. I just had this conversation with my best friend, her husband, and his brother. So, like,
We didn't have this conversation.
No, I just did. Oh. My other best friend.
Killing
Okay.
her.
Sorry, the person I've known for 21 years.
It's fine. Whatever.
And her husband and his brother.
Yeah,
and
I knew
all
exactly
of us,
what you were talking about.
all of us collectively agreed that none of us, like, even her, she was in restaurants for a good long while.
Mm-hmm.
Any restaurant I've ever been to has never had it. But I got that question so much when I started at this restaurant that I was like, who does have it?
Yeah.
So that's why when you said that right now, I was like, what the fuck? I've never seen it. Not ever,
Yeah.
anytime.
We had both light and extra.
That's
on draft.
crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, interesting. I would try it. I bet it's better.
Probably.
It's probably better.
You think it's time to check out?
Yeah, we should check out.
Yeah, for sure. Let's get out of here.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.